I've had this question a few times since I've been here at WLPC. So unfortunately, he couldn't be here with us. Don't worry, he's not dead. He's just had baby Mac number 2, and he'll be back very soon. So, okay. Thanks. So someone recently told me it takes us on average 7 times to hear something, see something before it resonates with us, before we take action on it. And that got me thinking, what is the message that I want to give to you all today from this presentation? I know we've seen a lot of presentations so far. They've all been really good, really amazing. But what is the key message that I want to give you, amazing WLPC attendees today, from this presentation? And I was really thinking about it. And as I look around the room, I feel tremendously lucky because I have had the pleasure of working with a lot of you in this room. So it got me thinking about one of them, I was going to say stupid, but let's say fun job interview questions that you might get. How would your friends or colleagues describe you in one word? And before some of you shout out your answer, let's save the production team some time on censoring out the answer, because how I would describe myself is efficient. If you ever contact me or you need something from me, I do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, and I like to get stuff done. So the theme for my presentation today, and if there's nothing else that you remember from whatever I talk about for the rest of this 15 minutes, is efficiency. How can we use Ekahau tools to make our lives as Wi-Fi engineers more efficient? And when I was thinking about this question, what is the biggest problem when it comes to Wi-Fi? You all might have an opinion, I'm sure, but I can guarantee everybody in this room will agree with me. Yeah. How many times has someone come up to you, one of your users, hey Matt, damn, the ISP is slow today? No? Hey Matt, that DHCP server just gave my IP address to somebody else and now I can't associate and get on the Wi-Fi. We all get that quite a lot? The silence tells me everything. Okay, cool. So how do we get to the problem of solving and proving that it isn't the Wi-Fi? Well, we've just announced that with the bigger brands that we're working with, Speed Test, Down Detector, you're going to see more integration with those products into the Ekahau products. And let me tell you why I think that's super cool and important for us. Because now you can test inside of Analyzer, you can see the spectrum, the Wi-Fi data, and you can run speed test, and you can test the ISP, and you can say, hey, no, Wi-Fi is good, your ISP is bad. That's where we need to fix and solve our problems. Damn, I was going to say, anyone here ever been on a video call before? But let's face it, we live our lives on video calls. When you're not at a conference, I don't know about you, but I spend pretty much all my day video calls, and that's how I spend pretty much most of my time. But no one wants to be that guy when you turn up on a video call. It's like, oh, Matt, your video's choppy, your audio's choppy. Can you turn your camera off? Man, imagine you've got a big presentation or a big job interview, or a big call that you're about to get on. Do you want to know if your video's going to work? Well, you can use the video test inside a speed test in Analyzer, and we will do packet capture, analyze what's going on in the Wi-Fi to give you confidence to know that the Wi-Fi is going to be able to handle your video calls. I think that's super important. I know what you're thinking, he's not here, but we can't get rid of him. That's true. We use Google Office features at Ekahau. Recently, I was on a call with Mac, Google Meet, going over a presentation on Google Slides, and all of a sudden, boom, kicked off. Do you know the first thing that I did? I looked up on my AP and I went, you bastard. What is wrong with you? Like, why are you not working? So then I get up out of my office, walk around the corner, I look at my router, all lights are green. I went, why are you not working? I went, oh, let me check Down Detector. And straight away I went to Down Detector, and it showed me Google services were having issues. I spent no time wasted on troubleshooting. Sometimes the universe sends you a sign, and that was my sign that it was time to stop working and maybe go play some golf. Very efficient. Didn't waste any time. I like that. So what we do in it is the Wi-Fi, that's a problem. And first of all, for me, let me tell you why I think surveys are so important. When I'm analyzing data, I want to understand how is the Wi-Fi network performing from the client's device perspective? When you do a survey with a sidekick, it's on your hip, you walk around. This is typically where the client devices are going to be working. It's so crucial to understand how it's going to be behaving. And when you do a survey, you find a plethora of information, not just RF data, but you can look around and understand physical environment, where I can, where I can't place APs. Is this right? Is this accurate? Is it not? But getting accurate survey data is the key thing here. And sometimes people maybe don't capture survey data accurately. Or maybe it's because we don't get the right kind of floor plans. So I want to talk about an issue that I had before I joined Ekahau, and I was tasked to go and do a Wi-Fi survey at a warehouse. Has anyone here heard of a town in the UK called Starling? One person's got his hand up. I don't talk to that guy anymore, though, so yeah. I hadn't heard of it either, okay? I live near London, and London to Swaddling is 3 hours at the best of times without traffic. I said to Mr. Customer, please share the floor plans with me before I get there. We've just established I like to be efficient. I wanted to have the floor plans prepared before I go so I can do my survey. No worries, Matt, I'll get them to you, I promise, I promise, I promise. I didn't get the floor plans. The day of the survey came. He said, don't worry, drive up. I'll give them to you as soon as I get here. Get on site. Boom. Thank you very much, Mr. Customer. Gave me the floor plans in an Excel sheet. It took all of my inner might to not really say what I wanted to say, but damn, I could not collect accurate survey data with that. However, now we have launched a feature called Just Go Survey, which leverages the AR kit of your iOS device. If you have the Pro device, LiDAR, you can do a survey without a floor plan, and it's going to generate a floor plan for you. This would have saved me a massive amount of time if I had access to this before. So it's a great way. Yeah. Okay. Once you've done a survey and you understand your environment, it sounds like the most basic thing to all of you fine ladies and gentlemen in the room, but to a lot of people, they don't understand this, or this might not be as obvious to them. If you haven't got coverage, if you don't have good coverage, you don't have good primary coverage, you're not going to have good connection. No good connection, no good Wi-Fi, can't run your business or have any good applications. No good secondary coverage, roaming, redundancy is going to be bad. So, once we've done a survey and we analyze the data, here's a little shot of our AI Pro Online. We can see on the left-hand side, straight away, issue, coverage, going to have some problems. But now on the right-hand side, the super cool thing that we're doing here is you can now place APs, move APs around, swap them out for new model access points without having to draw any kind of walls, any kind of obstacles. This is pure measured survey data. You can transform your network without having to draw a single wall or obstacle. Someone great once told me recently that this is the Holy Grail. And he's not looking at me right now. Okay. Very efficient. Okay. You might have done the best Wi-Fi survey, the best Wi-Fi design. You put all of your access points in perfect positions, and then you hand it off to your installation team. And if you don't manage this carefully and closely, let me tell you, this can be one of the things that can significantly impact the perception of that Wi-Fi design or network that you're about to deploy. I know there's a lot of us in the room, CWNEs, okay? So I have never been more confident in my life that we are going to be able to find, in these next two examples, what the problem with the Wi-Fi is. We ready? Let's take a look. Oh. Is that a good place to put your access point around all of that aircon and metal and yada? Yeah, some people are agreeing. Okay. I'll sign you up for an ECSE class, no problem. Yeah, we don't want to put an AP out there. It's going to cause us problems, the reflections, how many retries we're going to get. It's not good. So you have to manage this closely. All right, that's example number one. I can see some people over there. Example number two, again, pay close attention. That's had some issues around some coverage. What's going on? Ooh, that took me a whole 2 days to solve that problem. Yeah. So, physical installation, it is key for your Wi-Fi design. Part of your survey, your design, your installation, manage the physical installation. It is key for having a good performing Wi-Fi network. You want to suspend stuff down, but not just suspend stuff down out of the way of obstructions. You need to make sure your access points are protected for the environment that you're in. And again, let's say you've designed, you've installed, you've configured, they physically deployed the best Wi-Fi network in the world. Okay, you've done it, I believe in you, great. However, if that Wi-Fi network somehow gets compromised because of a security vulnerability, no one is going to trust your Wi-Fi network or think greatly of it. So trust me, looking out for these vulnerabilities, and they're everywhere. I can't tell you, I don't think I've ever done a Wi-Fi survey and not found a device that should not have had its Wi-Fi enabled. Whether it's a printer, whether it's a TV, whether it's a fish tank, a fridge, coffee machine, I don't know, whatever else you can connect to Wi-Fi now. If it has a LAN cable, it doesn't probably need to have its Wi-Fi enabled. The other thing, with the Psychic 2 having the integrated spectrum analyzer, we will also detect for you any kinds of non-Wi-Fi interference. Passive infrared, Bluetooth, microwave, jammer, etc., as well as evaluating your encryption strength of your networks. So it makes it easier for everybody to have a more secure Wi-Fi network. So channel widths and 0.5 and 6, I actually want to bundle these together, okay? And we're going to look at an example from where we had people reporting to us some issues with their Wi-Fi network. So why channels and interference is so important, we want to minimize this. I don't need to tell all of you in the room, Wi-Fi is a very polite protocol. If there's another device transmitting at the same time, we will back off, whether it's Wi-Fi or whether it's a non-Wi-Fi device. Small office, users complaining about the Wi-Fi down in and around this location. Let's take a look at what we got here. You've got 2 access points, one up here, one using channel 11 on 2.4, and it's gone into dual 5 gigahertz mode, channel 36, channel 161. Down here, channel 1, 2.4, dual 5 gig, 48, 153. Now looking at the data here, we're looking at 5 gigahertz primary coverage. We all agree it looks quite good? Oh, 20 megahertz. They're on 20 megahertz wide channels. Keith asked, what's the channel widths of the APs? They're all on 20 megahertz wide. Primary coverage looks good. Secondary coverage looks good. No one disagreeing with me yet? I know you want to. So let me take a look at channel interference. And yeah, okay, we have some CCI down here on channel 48, in and around this area. Maybe this is the reason why the users were complaining that they were getting interruptions on the Wi-Fi network and getting disconnected. Possibly. Maybe the access points could have made a smarter decision on which channels to go and use. Do you ever sometimes get a feeling that you're missing out on something? Maybe missing some information? Remind me, which layers of the OSI model does Wi-Fi work at? Yeah, 1 and 2, thank you very much, okay. That information that we just looked at, primary coverage, secondary coverage, channel interference, that information you can see if you collect Wi-Fi data with a measurement device that has just Wi-Fi radios. But now let's take a look at that exact same information, because that's all you're going to see if you don't have a spectrum analyzer when you're doing a Wi-Fi survey. So now, I've turned on the interferer view in Ekahau, and at a data point, now we can see some of that spectrum history. Okay? So we've got this transmitter on 5 gigahertz over here, and then you see this little spike, and in our waterfall view here. We all see that? Yeah? So there is a device in this space that is operating on the same channel that this little guy down here is trying to operate on. And now if I move that data point to right on top of that, look how loud that is. That interferer is right there in that environment and in that space. So let's say, for example, if you've got client devices in and around here on 5 gigahertz that want to connect and trying to connect to that access point down the bottom on channel 153, and you've got an interferer operating also on channel 153 that's non-Wi-Fi, do we think that could be the cause of what was going on? You can all say yes at the same time if you want. A lot of nodding. Yes, exactly. So if you don't use a device that has a spectrum analyzer when doing a Wi-Fi survey, you quite literally miss half the picture. If you didn't have that, we wouldn't have seen it, wouldn't have found it, wouldn't have removed it. You say, Matt, you work in marketing now. You're not technical. You don't see this stuff all the time. This was ages ago before you joined Ekahau. Nope. This is a survey from, I don't know, what is the date today? So yeah, it's like 7th of October. Happens all the time. These devices are out there. You can use Ekahau to make the invisible visible. There's a little marketing line for you. I stole from someone from the webinar. Okay. Very, very, yeah. Yeah, if we was making a TikTok, we could, very polite, very respectful. Yeah, okay. So the final thing that I see when it comes to the network fails is SSID configuration. Again, you could have the perfect design, perfect installation, great coverage, no channel interference, no non-Wi-Fi interference. If you don't configure your SSIDs correctly for your client devices that are out there, the perception is going to be that your Wi-Fi network doesn't work very well. And compatibility is such a big minefield. It's so difficult. So recently, and by the way, this next thing scares the hell out of me. This is the worst complaint I think you can get when it comes to Wi-Fi, randomly dropping off the network. That is a tricky one to find because it can be one of so many different things. But with this particular example, I was confident that the coverage was good, there was no channel interference, there was no non-Wi-Fi interferers there, everything was okay. So I was really sure the issue was down to the way the Wi-Fi network was configured. And what we took a look at is inside of Analyzer, you've got a network overview. You can see how some of the SSIDs are configured without having to log into the controller to see this. So in this example here, where we went to this network, it had pretty much everything enabled on the SSID. So 11K, 11R, 11V, 11W for management frame protection. Long story short, there was these client devices that even though they supported one of these amendments or security protocols, the way that they were interpreting it was causing the devices to drop off the network. So what we ended up doing was disabling things one by one to figure out what it was. And it actually turned out that on the 5 gigahertz network, they had management frame protection turned on. As soon as we disabled that, no more issues on the Wi-Fi network, no more complaints, never heard from them since. Okay. And the reason why I say this, typically we save product launches, product announcements for an Ekahau webinar. But some of you know me, I like to break the rules a little bit sometimes, and I wanted to share something with all of you before we announce it anywhere else publicly. Very soon, we're going to be launching something else, which I think will tremendously help all of you in the community for a couple of different reasons. It's going to be client analysis, and it's super cool. What you're going to be able to do, take any device of your choice, Wi-Fi device, bring it close to the Sidekick, it will automatically detect the device, you select it, it will automatically start capturing packets on the channel that device is using, and we will do deep packet analysis of that device. So, why I think this is so critical is because now you'll be able to understand exactly what a client device is capable of doing rather than having to go and check a data sheet, try and do a wireless packet capture of the association, and then go through everything. And of course, it wouldn't be us at Ekahau if we didn't give you a nice red, amber, green, something's good, something's bad, something's ugly. The other thing that I think this is going to help us for tremendously, when you design a Wi-Fi network, what are you designing the Wi-Fi network for? The end devices. You need to understand what they can do. Bring your device close to the Sidekick, you can know exactly what that device can do. Yeah, that was Miko's face when I told him I was going to announce this here. He was a bit angry that he wasn't here to be... Yeah. It's going to be very efficient, that's all. So, these are just some of the AI automation things that we have available inside of Ekahau tools. And when we announce these things, key thing that I see a lot of people say in the chat is, oh, Ekahau's here to replace our jobs, or AI is going to be here to replace us. And as I stand here and tell you that is not true, the irony isn't lost on me that I used AI to generate this image. But I promise you, please use our AI and automation tools. They're here to help you be more efficient. They're not here to replace you. And the last thing,